Okay, dude, I had a couple questions that I just want to go through real quick, and I want to ask you and see what you think about it, okay?
Okay.
Hotter seat, Graham Arnold, Roberto Mancini.
Oh my God, that is a great question. Oh,
Smash the like button. Hit subscribe, baby. Tough questions here on the Ball TV.
always tough questions. I feel like I'm Trump and Kamala Harris right now.
Like, what can I say that won't be fact checked?
I would not be talking about eating dogs or something like that on this
Yeah.
video. Um, no, I still got to go with Mancini. I think
Why?
he's just buying time. I think Graham Arnold still has more in the bank. The dude took his team to the round of 16 of the World Cup. Okay, Asian Cup went out in a not really a frustrating manner. Saudi Arabia, they have not maybe one good dominating performance, against a good team in Asia. All they have done under Mancini is destroy Pakistan. That is it. They have lost to
Correct.
Jordan at home. They drew to Indonesia at home. Barely squeaked by this China team away from home. And the Asian Cup, they didn't look dominating. They drew 0-0 with Thailand. So,
They had one good game against Oman. That was the first game. That was it.
yep, that's it. And they were losing that game as well. They had a good
Yeah.
45 minutes, the second half, where they were absolutely brilliant. So Mancini, he's just buying time for himself. If you haven't figured it out by now, and how long has he been manager? Over a year at this point, I think it is. How are you going to fix
It
it
is.
in the next couple months? So, yeah, I think Mancini's still in the hot seat. Yeah, look, Graham Arnold, 2 poor games. I wasn't really behind the Graham Arnold train heading into the World Cup because I thought, okay, they squeaked by horrible Peru in that intercontinental playoffs. I think Graham Arnold still has a lot more to offer, and I think it's more about the attack is just dead, and they just don't create anything. Whereas Mancini, you could definitely say he has more quality at his disposal, but he's just not using it. So yeah, Mancini's still in the hot seat.
I completely agree. And I think his salary makes it even worse. Mancini,
Highest paid manager in the world.
highest paid manager in the world. There's reports of kind of beefs among some of the players. His signature win as Saudi manager is probably beating Jordan in round 2. In the first game
Yeah,
where they beat Jordan away, it's
yeah,
probably his
that's
best
it.
game. That's it. Yeah, outside of that, there's not a lot of results you look at. Couldn't do the double in the Tajiks. Granted, good team. But if you're the top paid manager in the world, those are some results you got to get. And then the Indonesia at home is it's just inexcusable. And I like your point about Graham Arnold having credit in the bank. I do think he's overachieved, relatively speaking, with
I mean, round
Australia
of 16
more
with the
than,
World Cup with that team was crazy and almost knocked
yeah,
out Argentina. Excuse me.
yeah. And he doesn't have the pieces. He's not using Australia to their peak efficiency, just like Mancini isn't, but I agree he doesn't have the same. I asked the Deadball TV audience the same question. 55% said Roberto Mancini. So it was very close.
Oh, that's pretty close. Yeah.
Very, very close. Okay, next question here. Which team flopped harder in this window? Australia or Qatar?
Oh God. Oh, we're really going for the tough questions here.
I'm going to name this segment Tough AFC Questions with Michael Talks Football.
Oh, this is tough. Oh my.
Hey,
Qatar,
everybody better be
Australia.
answering down below in the
Oh,
comments
100%.
too.
You better be. Qatar.
Yeah, if you getting clowned, I'm making sure everybody in the comments is getting clowned too. You said
Oh yeah.
Qatar?
Yes. Qatar.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Break that
Conceding
down.
conceding 5 goals in this window. You lose to UAE. Now, of course, Australia losing to Bahrain at home, despicable in my opinion. Drawing away to Indonesia, you can kind of see something like, okay, tough away ground, very hostile environment. Field isn't the greatest. 0-0, you didn't lose. I mean, Qatar, you lost 3-1 to the UAE when you're 1-0 up, concede 3 goals in the last 20 minutes. Okay, cool.
Trash.
Then you go to Laos. You're not even going to North Korea. You're going to a neutral venue. Now, granted, the field and the conditions were terrible. You're 10-man up for 70 minutes. You can't get the job done. And did Australia win the Asian Cup?
I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. Who won the Asian Cup? Who has won it 2 times in a row and flopped
I
big time
believe
in this window?
that was Qatar.
Huh? Then it has to be Qatar. Now, if the audience dare say Australia, I think Qatari paid you guys.
Qataris did wire transfer a significant amount of money to the Deadball TV followers.
Wow.
Why didn't I get a wire? I'm a little pissed about this. 62% said
62.
Australia. Only 38% agreed with you, Michael, which is hilarious because I agree with you. I think Qatar flopped harder. I really do. I think if you look at Australia, it was abysmal. Both of these performances from these teams were bad. But you look at the Sutar own goal and you're like, okay, there's nothing Matty Ryan could have done about that. It's a complete fluke goal. It was the one attack Bahrain had in the entire game. You could not have written up a Desert Turtle game plan more to perfection than what happened in that match. And then you look at Indonesia away and you can say, okay, all they did was bunker. They barely attacked us had the first 15 minutes. Martin Pies, couple good saves. Irakunda off the post. Little unlucky. You look at Qatar, you get humiliated at home by a not even in form UAE squad. Said it before, you give Paolo Bento that big win that he's been searching for as manager, and then you can't take advantage of 10 men North Korea for 75 minutes or whatever it was.
And North Korea had the better chances in the second half.
And North Korea had the better chances. Where was the Qatari attack? We keep saying that was like the best point, the best part of this Qatari squad, which it is, and they couldn't get it done. I bet the Australians wanted to be up a man for 75 minutes. They probably could have done something then. Maybe then, Craig Goodwin will figure out how to cross the ball. There's not as many defenders around. Maybe Mitchell Dew could do something effective during the game. Irakunda won't just lose the ball while he's not even being pressured. I do think Qatar were the bigger losers here. Both lost, but I don't think Qatar's getting enough heat. And that's why I wanted to ask you. So shame on you, the audience. How dare you? Zero ball.
The ball knowledge in the comments is at an all-time low right now. You guys are frauds. I'm sorry. I might be a guest on this show, but Deadball TV community, I'm disappointed.
No, call them out, man. You got to call them. I call them out sometimes. That is crazy. We're putting the Deadball TV squad on Fraud Watch. Okay, next one for you. Which AFC giant should be more concerned right now? South Korea, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's easy. Saudi Arabia all day, every day. At least South Korea got talent. They might see the problem for South Korea is it's just a mess in the background. And that mess in the background, once I think it's fixed, then I think the on-field performances are going to improve. Right? Saudi Arabia, manager, not good enough. Apparently from us, all this video and many videos that Jack has done. And the talent level is not there. So South Korea, they got the talent. It's just about piecing it together. They just need somebody to come there and say, guys, you're a very talented group. We're going to fix it. Saudi Arabia, I look at them, I'm like, are they really going to score goals? Can a player drag them through the mud? South Korea, they got two guys can drag them through the mud, no matter what. I don't see it with the Saudi team. So I'm more concerned with Saudi Arabia. Plus, they're woke. Okay, granted, I think South Korea still have a tough group, but Saudi Arabia still got to play Australia and Japan twice. So I would be very concerned about the Saudis right now.
Michael, I hate to tell you this, but the audience disagrees. Once again, 63% saying South Korea should be more concerned.
You know what? I think that's a bunch of Jurgen Klinsmann accounts.
You know what? He did follow us the other day, and I have been getting a lot of like Jurgen Klinsmann goat, like that'll be the username. A lot of like accounts like that following recently. So I think you might be right, dude. I'm with you. I think this one is closer than Qatar versus Australia.
I think so.
Yeah, you just look at South Korea, just by having Lee Gang-in and Son and Kim Min-jae, it's like you got stuff here. There's something to work with. Let's not act like this squad sucks. It doesn't. And the Saudi squad doesn't suck either. Both could probably do with a better manager. But I think if you look at the situation around them, I think the bull case for Saudi Arabia is Australia also look pretty bad. China are finished. Bahrain are just going to sit back. and who else would be Indonesia. They can't score. So you could be like, okay, the Saudis are better off because the talent around them, like their competitors' talent level, is not as bad. Like Japan, that's going to be an L. But
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, get up for Japan. We've talked about this. South Korea, I mean, you got some pretty good attacking teams around you and some really good counterattacking sides as well. I mean, everybody's going to be dangerous. We saw even Palestine at home in the Seoul Stadium, how dangerous they looked at times. So this is an interesting one. I bet if we ask the same question after next window, I bet we get drastically different answers depending on what happens. All right, last one here. Which team had a better window? Iraq or Jordan?
Jordan had a better window. They performed a lot better on the field compared to Iraq. Iraq they just kind of snoozed their way to the victory over Oman. Yeah, it was a good defensive performance, but we know Oman. Those guys are allergic to any
attacking.
They're dead. I mean, attacking wise, they're dead. But Jordan, they at least performed. Of course, you can say, they drew to Kuwait at home. And then Iraq, they went away and drew. Yeah, they had 10 men. I still think what I saw from Jordan in those two games, I'm a lot more positive than Iraq. Even though I'm still positive about Iraq just because of the mentality they showed and they have created a fortress now that they finally get to play at home. I'm so impressed by Jordan. Every time we watch them, it's like you're just going to get prime Lakers basketball here. They're just going to attack. They're going to attack. They're going to have beautiful combination play. I think we had that from Iraq in the previous round, but Jesus Casas said, no. I just want to qualify. You guys are going to like this style of football. You may not, but it's a results business. So, yeah, I would say that Jordan had the better window.
I completely agree with you. And I think we said this, maybe it was on your video, which I will put in the description of this video. And I'll probably put a little thingy up here that you guys can click on, which was a full AFC window recap. I look at Jordan, and I genuinely think they were very, very unlucky to not get 6 points. I cannot look at Iraq and say they were very unlucky to not get 6 points. I still think they gave Kuwait a game. Like we said, more shots, more possession, away from home, down a man. But Jordan, I mean, to concede a penalty in that manner in the 90th minute, I mean, it's like, come on, bro. With all the missed chances they had as well, I do think they looked better. And the fact that they won their second game without Musa Al-Tamari. Why? Because Al-Naimat is a beast. Because Al-Mardi is literally John Stockton. 3 assists in that game. In 0-1, I mean, I guess he was running. I guess he was out there running. I mean, he was doing some things right. He just didn't get on the scoreboard. Iraq, you lose Hussein, and the attack looked a bit dead, didn't it? Looked a bit dead. They don't look like they had the
Are they a one-man system then? Is that what we were saying about Iraq?
Who's their backup from Ipswich? Is it Al-Hamardi? Is that his name?
Al-Hamardi, yeah.
We need to see more.
Sorry. Yes, we need to see more. He didn't know Ayman Hussein. Look at what Ayman Hussein has done this year. 2024 has been his year. He's been unstoppable. I think he got a move to, I think it was the Qatari League or some other league. He got moved out of Iraq. I can't remember which league it was. So it just shows you the improvement that he's made. But also it's evident that Iraq, like, let's take this for example. When both teams took a 1-0 lead at halftime, and they went to the second half against Oman and Kuwait respectively, which team looked like they were going to try and go for that second goal and try and win the game? It was Jordan. Now, obviously, at the end, they got 100%. Punished. Iraq just said, we're going to bunker down here because we're still playing Oman, who have no attack whatsoever. So I think that's also a mentality thing. One team, they're feeling the confidence. They made it to the final of the Asian Cup. They got all the momentum. The other team, they're still a very good team, Iraq. I just wonder if the youngness of this side, the lack of experience, maybe in these pressure moments, is getting to Jesus Casas and to these players for this window at least.
I think we're seeing more acclamation from Iraq versus Jordan. I do think we're talking about 3 extra knockout games at the Asian Cup. Those games matter. That matters to get the boys prepared. Iraq didn't get that opportunity because they got knocked out by Jordan in the game of the Asian Cup.
Yes.
And I think we're seeing some benefits there as well. And maybe Jesus Casas, like you said, being like, okay, it's one thing to beat Vietnam 3-0. It's another to make it to the next World Cup. So I'm going to have to be a little more conservative than normal. And especially with Hussein out, they're just not going to be running up the score unless Jassim and Bayesh go off. And I actually thought Bayesh was quite good this window, but didn't actually get on the score sheet. I lied. Last question. I really want to ask you this.
What did the audience say, by the way?
Glad you asked. We have gone against the audience 3 times in a row. I will say, though, this was very close. Iraq, 55%.
Okay,
so it was close.
At least it's close. At least it's close. But you're still all of you are frauds.
They're all frauds. I bet you they saw the Kuwait draw and they were like, nah, Jordan suck. Actually, I got several tweets like that. They were like, you said Jordan was good. Which, by the way, I was so pissed because I was watching the replay while I saw that, and I was like, Jordan was still up 1-0 at the time, but I was like, I swear to God, if this guy is indirectly telling me that Jordan dropped points here, I'm going to be pissed. And when I saw the out of penalty, I was like, God damn it, they're going to convert. And then it happened. Dude, I was so pissed. Next window, bro, I'm muting everything. You're not going to see me on Twitter, Instagram. Do not text me. Y'all spoiling mofos out there. Okay, last one. I did not ask this on Instagram. By the way, if you want to be involved in the next polls, if you want to have your voice heard here on Deadball TV, make sure you follow us on Instagram. The link is in the description. Coldest seat in Asia. Is it Shin Tae-Yong right now?
Coldest seat?
Who's sitting on the throne of ice right now?
Oh, man. Yeah. No. See, I'm going between 2 managers. Shin Tae-Yong or Moriyasu.
Okay.
I think it's one of those 2 guys. Unless you want to throw in the North Korean manager. I don't know what his name is, but shout out to him because he's doing a brilliant job with whatever he's doing in training.
He's cooking over there.
I would still, Shin Tae-Yong, what he's done with Indonesia. I mean, this national team were nothing, in my opinion. Now, granted, of course, it's the players they brought in, but it's also about what do you do with these players? Look at Mancini. He hasn't built a system with his guys. Whereas Indonesia, you see that, okay, might be a little bit defensive. It's not going to be the most prettiest of football, but it's effective. All the players believe in him. I think he and all the Indonesians that I see, I don't see one bad word said about him. Not one. It's all positivity. No. You're the guy. You're going to bring us to the promised land. I think they home run with that hiring, and you don't even need to ask him for a lifetime contract. They already got it written up. They're just waiting for his signature. That's how positive and ice cold, like it's an icy from the gas station in the States. Oh, man, he's living good. Now, Moriyasu is close, though. For what he's been doing so far, now you can talk about the World Cup exits and the Asian Cup exits. Fully understand. But I think he has still built a very good team. And with this new tactical setup that he's done, I think he's going to be in the job for much longer.
I do think those are the top 2. I agree with you. But I will say Shin Tae-Yong's is colder than Moriyasu. Because Moriyasu has more room to fall. Obviously, he's Japan manager.
With the talent, yes, with the talent he's got.
With the talent. If Indonesia finished 5th, nobody cares. If Japan finished 2nd, that's a big damn deal. It's like, wait a minute. You let a dysfunctional Saudi Arabia, players and managers don't even like each other, and a offensively allergic Australia beat you to winning the group? Because let's not forget, who won the group in 2022? It was Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Moriyasu has not won the group in qualifying, and that's because he drew Vietnam on the final match day. And Saudi Arabia leapfrogged them. You look at the Asian Cup, and you're like, hey, you went out in the quarterfinals. I know it was Iran, but you went out in the quarterfinals of an Asian Cup with the most stacked Asian roster of all time. Forget Japan. It's the most stacked Asian team of all time. You look at the World Cup, and you say, okay, great victories against Germany and Spain. Could you have gone for it against Croatia? You played for pens against the pen gods. Full strategy, God. Let's see if it works out for you. Didn't work out. Didn't work out, did it? Yeah, let's not have Maya Yoshida penalties deciding the fate of Japan, please, next time. I think he has more room to fall. Whereas Shin Tae-Yong Where I think he doesn't get enough credit is what you said. Yes, it's true there's been an influx of Indonesian players, but the way that he has, I think I mentioned earlier, done a complete 360 with how this team plays in the last 12 months, going from like, hey, we got to kind of go at you because our defense sucks, to like, okay, now we're going to bunker down and use our speed to hit you on the counter, and getting these guys to like each other and getting these guys comfortable with Indonesian culture, quite literally, because they're all living in Europe. I don't think he gets the flowers for that. So I love Shin Tae-Yong. I think he's doing a great job. I want to throw one name at you, and you tell me 1 to 10 how cold it is, and then we'll end the video. 10 is when Captain America crashed his plane into the ice. 1 is, I mean, you're in the inferno already. 1 is Graham Arnold. 1 is Graham Arnold.
And 0 is
10
Mancini.
Captain America. Yeah, it's 0 is Mancini. 10 is Steve Rogers. Katanich with Uzbekistan.
You know what? I was about to ask you that. I was thinking about Katanich.
Dude, the ball knowledge is crazy right now.
Where would he be ranked in that sort of rating?
Oh,
I would say he's still, if he doesn't qualify though with this team, so there is pressure on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Moriyasu. You got I think, a stacked team. Like, this might be the best Uzbek team of all time for them. With the talent they got, the youngsters, the under 17s, they beat England. Like, there's more and more talents coming through for Uzbekistan. I think he's at a 7 to 8 range, because if he doesn't qualify, your ass is gone, buddy. Now, look, he's done well. I think he did very well at the Asian Cup, considering all the injuries they've had. I think he's really built a good system with this team. The fullbacks are really involved. I really like Nazarayev, the left back. I think he's a quality dude. Got 2 assists during this window. So beast, absolute beast of a player. So he clearly identifies that I got the pieces. Now let's build a system around these guys. But if he doesn't qualify, he's gone. Now, could you say the same thing about Jesus Casas? Let's say if Jesus Casas didn't make it to the World Cup, would his ass be gone as well?
What a phenomenal question. That was literally the name I was going to bring up to compare it to. Holy hell. We are deep in AFC knowledge right now. I'm going to answer with a question. If Uzbekistan finished 3rd and Iraq finished 3rd as well, and they go to round 4, does any manager take a hit?
You mean like get the papers out and...
Like it might be resignation time?
I think...
I have a follow-up question.
I think Katanich will go.
You think? Okay. It would be a bigger fumble for him, wouldn't it?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. If Casas finishes 3rd, goes to round 4, and takes care of business, he's totally fine. But if either of these guys go to round 4 and they bottle it, and I don't even know who would be against. I mean, they'd probably be bottling it against like Bahrain, or could be North Korea.
Yeah.
It would be, who's more likely to survive? I'm going to say Casas is more likely to survive.
I would say Casas would be more, because how long has Katanich now been in the job in Uzbekistan? I think he's been there for a while.
I want to say 2021.
Wow. See, look at this ball knowledge, people. Yep, 2021. I just checked. Katanich has been there. And Casas came.
I am Uzbek.
Yeah, you are Uzbek. We need to get your passport ASAP.
Never forget.
Jesus Casas arrived last year to Iraq, and the guy hasn't had any experience as a head coach. No experience. Katanich has been Iraq, Slovenia, UAE, Macedonia, Olympiacos, Slovenia, and Gorsia manager. This guy has had years and years of experience, whereas Jesus Casas is just a novice at this. So I think he has sort of more credit in the bank as well. That, okay, I don't have the experience. This team is very young, whereas Uzbekistan, players in their prime, like Smordov, Uronov, all of these guys. So look, let's be honest. Let's ask the Uzbeks in the comments down below. If you guys don't qualify to the World Cup directly from this round, would you get rid of Katanich?
Would you get rid of Katanich? Great question. I would love to hear from the Iraqis as well. You make it to round 4, but then you're defeated, and you don't make it to 2026. Do you keep Casas, or do you look elsewhere? Got to hear from the Iraqis. Got to hear from the Uzbeks, and got to hear from the Indonesians. Is Shin Tae-Yong, is he absolutely bulletproof?
I have
Could
one
he do
final
no wrong?
question. I have one
Okay.
final question for you.
Bring it. Let's hear
One
it.
final question. Five more minutes. Who would you have in your starting lineup as striker? Would you have Al Naimat or Ayman Hussein?
Trying to get me in trouble.
No, I'm not
You're
trying to get in trouble. I'm trying to ask for your perfect AFC starting 11. Minus Taremi, because Taremi would probably start for both of us. Who would you have instead?
This is so difficult. I would go Hussein and only Hussein if I'm going up against a physically inferior opponent. Anybody else? God. Dude, Al Naimat, he just a dog, dude. It's really hard.
You know what? You know Al Naimat reminds me of? Al Naimat reminds me of like Kyrie Irving. He can do everything really well. Whereas Ayman Hussein is Shaq. Shaq just had that one powerful move every single time, but it was
he's not even Shaq. He's like Karl Malone. He literally has one like post.
True. Well, I think Shaq really only had. Well, no, Shaq had more to his more to his game, but that is actually a great debate. And I know it's going to be a beef in the comments between the Jordanians and the Iraqis, but try and be somewhat neutral, people. Who would you have? Would you rather have Al Naimat or Ayman Hussein? Now, look, I'm taking Al Naimat all day, every day, because I love Ayman Hussein all day, every day. I love Ayman Hussein, but I just think Al Naimat just brings so much more to the game. We've already discussed it in this video, but Al Naimat is a baller. But this is going to be
that Shomurdov is like the middle between the two. Like he's kind of got strengths of both.
I think like Taremi is up there, and then those three, they're all battling it out for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what we say at the end of this World Cup qualifying round. Have our opinions changed after it? I'll be bringing the footage.
Dude, that'll be crazy. We have to crown the best striker in Asia. And we might be crowning somebody not named Mehdi Taremi.
Maybe.
Which would be insane. Dude, these Jordan Iraqi games are going to hit, dude.
Like I said in my video, I'm going to Jordan. I'm going to Jordan for that final game between Jordan and Iraq. That is the final game in the match days. I'm going to that game, no matter what.
Dude, I'm going to have to look at tickets Buenos Aires to Amman.
People, do you want us to have a Dead Ball Michael Talks Football collab in Amman, Jordan on the streets? Oh, that will hit like crack. Oh my God.
Dude, football YouTube is not ready.
They are not ready for that. They will be demonetized. They will demonetize that video.
Oh my God. Street interviews in Jordan. That's the next evolution.
Yes.
That's the next step here. That's going to be incredible. And you know what? We're going to have to hit up to Tashkent immediately afterwards. Once Uzbekistan win the group. We can
finally buy the kits.
Yes, we have to travel there because there's ain't no Uzbek jersey outside of the capital. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yo, dude, I'm getting the Jordan kit. I'm getting the Iraq kit. I'm getting Uzbekistan. Honestly, we just gotta travel and just buy everything in sight.
I gotta add to the collection, bro.
Dude, it's gonna be insane. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see Michael Talks Football, Dead Ball TV collab, and I'm on Jordan on the final match day, make sure you drop a like on the video. Hit subscribe so you can see the live footage as we stream from the streets of Jordan. And make sure you give the podcast a 5-star rating. And, of course, also check out Michael Talks Football. Thank you so much for jumping on, dude. Every time we collab and talk Asian football, it's an absolute blast. I hope everybody enjoyed this conversation as well. So your channel will be plugged heavily here on Dead Ball TV, guys. Let us know any other thoughts that you have down below in the comments. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see y'all in the next one.